Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. How is everyone this lovely Sunday? It is the 23rd of July, 2023. I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to the show, the Level 1 Podcast. Good stuff this week so far, right? Quite a lot of great streaming fun that we've been having here together on the internet, and I hope that you guys have been enjoying everything that's been happening. In fact, I would like to talk about last night's stream of GTA 5 Anniversary Run, which went pretty darn good, I would say. I was actually blown away in some ways. So certainly we will discuss that today. Of course, today is our weekly React Day, where we're going to have a lot of fun over on DSP Reacts, my sister channel, watching some clips. And, of course, everything else, including today, I have a special topic that I would like to talk about. Although I don't know how much I really want to go into it, because, well, you'll understand once I start talking about it. Basically, last night, I was getting ready for bed, and, you know, I was browsing around on YouTube. As you know, at late nights, I sometimes watch Street Fighter videos, tech videos, to try to watch high-level players play Street Fighter 6 and learn some techniques and everything. And I didn't particularly need to do that last night. You know, I'm not playing Street Fighter 6 today, but I was just browsing around and happened upon a video, and I happened to decide to click on it. And some people would say, oh, you made the mistake of clicking on it. No, I don't think that it was a mistake at all. I was absolutely fascinated. I was posed with so many questions. And basically, I'd like to talk a little bit about that today here on the show. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a bit when we start discussing it. And we'll see what happens when I start talking about it. Okay? All right? Fair enough? Okay. All right. Anyway, welcome to the show. It is Sunday. It is React Day, so I certainly hope that all the people who are members over on my channel, DSP Reacts, posted up your videos in a timely fashion. I did make the playlist last night for the show, so if you did not have your video in those community threads as of last night after I finished my GTA 5 stream, you didn't get on the show. There is a cutoff, and I clearly state what the cutoff is right in those threads, so I hope that everyone got their videos in. We got a good amount of videos for this week, about on par. Usually it's around 50 to 60 videos, and we never get through all those, and I don't think we're gonna get through them this week either, you know. So we'll see how the show goes. What I've liked is that last week, because we had some new members, and what I mean by that is the week before, live on that stream, someone had gifted something like 20 memberships to the community. So because of that, we had a new variety of people who were members and who were nominating videos. And last week's DSP versus the Internet React show was actually, in my opinion, one of the best we've done in months. It was a good variety of stuff that we had never seen the likes of before, and it was highly entertaining. Fascinating, really. Not all of it, of course. You get some stuff that's kind of a dud, but, you know, a lot of it was good stuff. Like, oh, interesting. Now, last week, I believe we had another 5 to 10 gifted memberships. So that was another opportunity for another 5 to 10 people to nominate videos for this week's show. So you got to hope that, again, this will result in some better, videos nominated or good variety of videos nominated for today. We'll find out. Remember, the way it works over there is if you're an Ultra member, the highest level of member, you're guaranteed to have your video watched once a week on the show, okay? That's part of the buy-in of being such a big high-level member. If you're a standard member, which I think is like $4 a month, right? I think it's $4 on YouTube, or at least that's what my pricing is. I guess you could price it differently on your channel, but mine is $4 a month. So if you're a standard member, you nominate videos, 2 a week, and it goes into a playlist, and that playlist, I literally just hit shuffle, and we just play them in a random order, and that's how we watch them every week. And some weeks we get through more videos than others, depending on the length, or if I want to watch more of one, or pause and talk about it, but it's completely equal chance from any channel member to get their video watched, because everyone's on the same page. It's just random select by YouTube. So we'll see today how it goes. I'm excited. It's an interesting show. Good thing is I don't have to play games, right? When I'm doing it, I get to talk about clips, I get to interact with you guys, and I get to more relax and just pan it out for 3 hours, watch stuff, and have a good time. All right? So I'm excited for that. I hope you are too. The way it's going to work is after we finish today's podcast, you will see a pop-up on the screen that will say, hey, everyone's going over to DSP Reacts. Click here to go. And you can click right over there. It'll take you to my sister channel. The stream's already over there set up. I just got to get it live after this show ends. And then we'll roll right into some fun React content for the week. Okay? Now, a big reminder to everyone. Next weekend is React Weekend. It is actually the first weekend in many months where I'm doing tons of React content as a special celebration. All right? So, on Saturday of next week, which is July 29th, we're doing a very special event called The Dark Side of Machinima. All right? This special event is going to be all about the 6+ years when I was in a partner network on YouTube called Machinima, and the ups and downs and all the interactions I had with this company. And I'm finally going to spill the tea because they don't exist anymore. They went out of business many years ago. And because of that, I'm not under any NDAs anymore. I can say whatever I want about my happenings with this company, and I have a lot to say. I do. There's all these different interactions and things that happened when I was part of them. Sometimes it was really positive, and sometimes it was laughably, jokeably, unprofessionally stupid. There's a good reason why they're out of business, to say the least, okay? So, number one, I'm going to react to a long-form, well, it's not really a long-form, but a documentary. It's about an hour long by June the King. I'm going to do a live react to that. That's probably going to last about 2 hours. Then, I'm going to be talking about my personal history with this company, and I'm going to be showing you tons of emails and things that corroborate what I'm saying to show you everything that I went through in regards to this company. Okay, it's going to be a fun event. It really is. I think that you guys will enjoy it. It's going to be something very, very different from what I usually do. I have not done a long-form React event in many, many months. I think it was the last one was Internet Historian, and when was that? Like April or May? I can't even remember. So here we are, and it's going to be a good event all day long on Saturday coming up. Plus, I'll probably order some food. We'll have like a Feasting with Phil special going on there as well. So a good one. It'll be a good day. All right, so that's all on DSP Reacts next week, a marathon setting of fun Machinima reminiscing. This is a good way to start off my month of celebration of my 15 years anniversary as a YouTuber. In the 15 years I've been a YouTuber, there's been ups and downs. There's been a ton of history. This is one big portion of my history that I'd like to finally get out there and document it, because I never really could talk about it publicly when I was with them. Okay? Cool. Then on Sunday of next week, 1 week from today, it's the next DSP versus the Internet React show. So we're having essentially 2 days of React content next week. I certainly hope that you guys will join me for that fun stuff. It's good for variety to break up all the other gameplay and things that we're doing, right? Cool. All right, so, excuse me. Before we get to the schedule, and before we get to everything else, what I'd like to do this morning is talk about yesterday's streams, in particular last night's stream, because it was actually pretty fun and interesting, and I'd like to discuss it with you. So, yesterday was a dual streaming day of gameplay. First stream was Final Fantasy 16, and I was like, oh, this is excellent, because we just had a big, boring-ass segment where we had to do fetch questing for Mid, who was building up the ship for your crew. I guess this ship is going to be used eventually somewhere in the story. And you had to do, like, no exaggeration, about 90 minutes to 2 hours of boring-ass fetch questing, generic fights against enemies you've already fought. I was like, it's not very interesting. But this is good because it's out of the way. Today we can start right with story. Right? right? No. Guess what? You end up in a new town and you have to do more boring nonsense. You show up in the town and one of the characters has had their merchant pass pickpocketed off of them. So now you have to spend, no exaggeration, about an hour walking in circles, talking with townspeople, essentially wasting your time just to get the pass back, just for it to advance to the next part of the major story. And literally the entire hour you're there has no bearing whatsoever on anything. It easily could have been removed from the game, and the game would have been faster paced and shorter, and you wouldn't have been bored for an hour. I said it last time. The pacing in the game is terrible. Whoever made the game essentially was a very bad game director and doesn't understand pacing of a game. They literally wedged in boring content that maybe should have been like an optional side mission as part of the main story to pad the length of their game. If you take out all these boring segments, this game is half as long, and it would have been a better game. It's pretty sad that this is what the game is, and so many people keep saying that they love it. Like, what a fucking game are you playing? I guess you like sitting around scratching your ass for 2 hours rather than doing anything meaningful in a video game. I don't know about you. When I play a video game, I like to actually play something fun and challenging and interesting. I don't like sitting around doing nothing for 2 hours until I get to that good part of the game. It's stupid. So anyway, we got through that, and then guess what? We got to a good part of the game. We got to about a 90-minute segment of action where we were in a city. The city was getting attacked. We had to fight some troops and then some enemies, some monsters, multiple bosses, and then finally we got to another big icon boss fight. Admittedly, I thought it was all right, and then it started to drag on, and then the game jumped the shark. And it's that simple. Now, I don't want to spoil, because if you're going to watch the playthrough, you know, I don't want to spoil everything that happened. But let's just say, a lot of the times when I've been playing this game, I've been taking portions of it and comparing it to other tropes and other things, memes and things. I've been like, oh, you know, whenever there's a big icon fight, it totally feels like two kaiju monsters fighting like in a Godzilla movie. Like, Ifrit is basically Godzilla, right? And the other monsters all almost are equivalent to other Godzilla creatures that he's fought over the years. And then, whenever they're having their big fights, a lot of the times, oh, mash square. Oh, this is like, you know, in an anime when the two fighters are facing off and they're pushing against each other. Or like in Dragon Ball when two Kamehamehas are fighting each other, right? And there's like two energy beams, they're going, ooh, and you gotta mash the button or whatever. So I'm making those jokes, and then I shit you not, they literally do. I said, oh, so what are they gonna do? Are they gonna do this thing? And then immediately they did it. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I mean, I was joking, and then they did it. And I was like, they literally have zero originality in this game. The entire game is like a fanboy meme game where everything that happens is based off of something else from some other medium, and they just copied and pasted it together to claim like it's its own original entity when it's not. If I can joke about something that's about to happen in a fight and it literally happens frame by frame how I said it would, that's pathetic. I could have made the fucking video game, so what'd I pay $70 for, right? So, in my opinion, it did jump the shark last night. And I was like, that's sad, because, you know, I was actually having a decent time with it, and now it's like, I'm going to have a hard time continuing on with this game, not laughing at every moment. I'm sorry, you know, it's just, I can't believe how low it's gone. And it's hilarious, because I keep telling you guys, I enjoyed Final Fantasy 15 more, I enjoyed Final Fantasy 13 more, I enjoyed Final Fantasy 5 Pixel Remaster more, and people are like, you're crazy. Like, no, I'm not crazy, I'm honest. I've played much better Final Fantasies than this before. This is like, you know, play school Final Fantasy to me. It really is. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, all right? Listen to this. Listen to this. You ready? Okay. I think I said this yesterday during the stream as well. You ready? Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This is a dumbed-down version of Final Fantasy for the Super Nintendo from the 1990s. It was made to be like baby's first Final Fantasy, okay? Is a better game and a harder, more challenging experience so far than what Final Fantasy 16 has been for me. If only I could have clicked that a little sooner. So I challenge you to go find Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, because I think you're actually going to like it more. I'm serious. I can't believe, the more I'm playing Final Fantasy 16, I'm really trying hard to like it, and I liked the plot. And I thought that these big icon fights were good. But after yesterday, I'm like... And what's funny is it's like, again, the people who seem to like this game are completely... Oh, no, that was one of the best fights in the game. And I'm like, oh, my God. What the fuck is going on with people? How did you like that? This is like... Okay. This is like, all right, you just went and you watched, let's see, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween, and then you went and you watched Scary Movie that parodies them all, and you said, wow, Scary Movie is like amazing. It's like the best thing. Wait, no. Scary Movie just takes everything from the other movies and puts it together into one as a parody. No, it's the best thing. It's amazing. The best horror movie I've ever seen. It's not even a horror movie. Don't you understand? It's just meant to be like a meme. No, it's the best thing. Like, oh my God. I don't understand it. It's like talking to a wall. I don't understand how people like it so much. I just don't get it. Lifelong fan of Final Fantasy, I don't get it. All right? So anyway, we're going to continue on. We're now 29 hours into Final Fantasy 16. For what I'm to understand, there's about 10 to 15 hours left. From what people have told me, okay, we're past the most boring filler of the game. There maybe is one more segment where you have to do some filler shit, but for the most part, we're about to head into what's considered the final segment of the game, and apparently once you hit that, it is like full story development, meaningful fights, and all of that on all cylinders. Like, it gets really exciting, okay? So we'll see what happens, but we're making the full court push to finish this game, all right? We are finishing it, I swear to you. Okay. Excuse me. So let's keep going. Last night, on the late stream, was the premiere of my first in my line of anniversary content. And what I mean by that is we are now celebrating my 15-year anniversary as a content creator on the internet. It's been 15 years since I became a YouTuber. And what we're going to do is a lot of throwback style content over the next month to month and a half before the new releases hit in September. We're going to do throwback playthroughs. We're going to do special retrospective events. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, okay? And so, this playthrough that we started last night, all right, I'm very excited for it. It's Grand Theft Auto 5, the 10-year anniversary run. And you voted for this, by the way, because some people are like, well, why are you playing GTA 5? Because you voted for it. You know, we had many options of things that I could have done, including Saints Row 2, or some more retro throwback stuff like a Mega Man Fun Classics Marathon or Super Mario Bros. 3. But you guys voted overwhelmingly to see me play Grand Theft Auto 5 again. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Now, we're doing it a little differently than the first run 10 years ago. First of all, I'm playing it on the Xbox Series X, which is a whole new version of the game redesigned with new graphics from the ground up. And I'm excited to do this because it looks way better. We'll talk about that in a second. In addition, this time around, full live streaming with my face cam and interaction with the stream chat. Remember, when I played this game 10 years ago, I had just adopted direct capture and live streaming, and I was new at it. I didn't have any interaction with my live chat. I didn't have a face cam or anything like that to speak of. Instead, it was just me playing a game as if I were playing it by myself in my room. And I ignored all the live streaming elements of it. That was really stupid in my opinion. You know, today, like they say, hindsight is 20/20. I can look back then and be like, why did I ignore this amazing gift that I had in a live audience who wanted to interact, who wanted to chill with me and have a good time, and I just ignored them and acted like they didn't exist. I mean, that was really stupid in my opinion, okay? So I'm glad now that I've learned and I've changed for the better, and here we are, you know, 10 years later playing the game a second time. I'm very excited for this, okay? So this is my 10-year anniversary playthrough. I have not touched the game since 2014 when I did attempt to do a second run when the game came out for then current-gen consoles. I rebought it on PS4, but after having played a couple streams, you guys didn't really care. You're like, dude, you just played it. It's kind of boring to see you play it again, and I just dropped it and never played it again. So really, this is my second playthrough ever of the game, and let me tell you, we had a great time last night. First of all, way more people than I expected showed up. We had over 500 viewers most of the stream. And people were having a great time. They were engaged. I think what it is for that playthrough is notable for a lot of people. That was the dawn of me, again, becoming someone who live streamed every day, someone who was doing direct capture. I was breaking out from my old, you know, stigma of just being the guy with the camera who acts like a dinosaur and records in an ancient style. And people liked tuning into those live streams for a game like that. And keep in mind that GTA 5 is an insanely huge game that at the time I think was the biggest game of all time. I don't know if that's still the record, if they're still the biggest game of launch of all time or not. But at the time they were. So it was incredibly notable to see how different people reacted to the game, and people loved my playthrough. I remember that was one of my biggest playthroughs of all time at the time when I played it, okay? So, man, it was fun. You know, I played about 2 hours last night, and it was a great time. I don't remember a lot of the stuff that happens in this game. I remember some, but I don't remember all. And so I'm playing through it, and, you know, I'm driving around, and first of all, the first thing I noticed, this Xbox Series X version, full 60 frames per second, didn't even have, I don't think, a frame dip all night, and my God, the detail in the environments is crazy. Like, everywhere you go, there's a poster, there's a billboard, there's spray paint on a wall, there's water on the ground, there's crazy ray tracing lighting effects in the game now. The game looks so good and realistic. And it blew me away. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know the game looked this good. They really, like, bumped up the graphics on the Xbox Series X version. So, just off the bat, I was kind of blown away. I was like, whoa, like, this looks superbly good. And I really enjoyed the driving. Like, driving around now in full 60 frames looks so sick. You know, compared to the original game where I was playing it in 30 frames on Xbox 360, you know, in 10 years, my God, this game has been completely, like, you know, redesigned from the ground up. Pretty sick. Meatball Man says GTA 5 looks better than Final Fantasy 16. Yeah. I'm not shitting you. Yeah. It looks better than Final Fantasy 16, and it has a more consistent frame rate. It does. It's smooth. While Final Fantasy 16 chugs and dips and looks like shit half the time. This game is really looking really good, okay? Now, as for gameplay elements and everything, I'm just getting back into it. I remember with GTA 5, essentially they made it more cinematic to make it more similar to, say, the Red Dead series. And so when they did that, it's not as action-based anymore. So you're trying to, like, run and gun, and it doesn't really react as fast. You're a little bit more sluggish and everything. So I got to get used to that. I do remember that from the original playthrough. At the same time, I remember, like, the game is a lot of auto-aim. Like, you don't really have to do much manual stuff in this game. It's mostly kind of done for you. So as soon as I get used to that, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I just got to get used to everything kind of, you know, being a little different. Keep in mind, you know, I just played GTA's trilogy a year or two ago when it was released, and that's very different. You know, it's a different kind of game than those. You have to get used to this new modern stuff. We did turn off the music, which sucks because I was told there was a streamer mode. I was like, that's right up my alley. We'll still have some music. No streamer mode. Whoever said that was completely full of shit. And people just told me live, just turn it off. They're like, we'd much rather see you play the game, not have the stream shut down, not have the videos blocked or muted. We just want to see the playthrough. So I turned off the music. And the funny part about it was, not many people complain. You want to know why? Here's why. In the original Grand Theft Auto trilogy, okay, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, the music is timely. It's of that era that the game is taking place. You know, the early 2000s for GTA 3, the 1980s for Vice City, and the 1990s for San Andreas. Listening to the music puts you into that era. It makes you feel like you're there, right? You remember, especially if you were alive during those time periods, you can remember how life was back then and how different things were. In GTA 5, the music is from 10 years ago. It's shit. It's like ear diarrhea. Right? I remember when I was playing the game originally, and the music that was in it, I absolutely hated it. I thought the music was terrible during that. I was like, wow, there's like nothing notable. Like, there's no tracks that I wanted to leave on the radio that I would hear over and over, and I'd be like, oh, I'll groove out to. None of that. Basically, I remember the music sucked. I didn't like it at all. And what's funny about it was, people were like, you do realize the soundtrack for GTA 5 was the most expensive soundtrack they ever had to get. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Because when you're buying music from the 80s or 90s, you're buying the licenses to use that music in your game. Those are older songs. Those songs are not going to be as valuable anymore to license. But when you're licensing modern music, you're paying premium dollar. A lot of those songs had just come out or were recent. And so they had to pay top dollar for that music, and the music was terrible. So it was funny because I really just ignored the music. I didn't have the music, and no one complained. I was blown away. I thought people would be like, oh, wow, he's driving around and silent. No one cared. And I was like, well, this is good then. I guess this is a good start, because it would have been disappointing if people were upset with me because I muted the soundtrack, but people didn't give shit. And quite frankly, I didn't either. So I guess we'll see moving forward with the playthrough. But the good news is the first two parts are live and didn't get claimed and didn't get muted, and people seem to be enjoying them. In fact, the first two parts of GTA 5 are only been live for like 13 hours right now and have more views than pretty much almost all the current videos that I'm putting out I mean, no surprise there. I mean, what am I doing now? Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16, right? So it's not shocking that these videos are doing much better than the other things that I'm currently playing, right? But I'm happy about that. You know, I think it's the nostalgic vibe. It's the fact that it's GTA, and for some reason, people always say that my GTA playthroughs are special. They love watching me play GTA over the years, no matter which one I'm playing, right? So, we had a good time with it. Now, we didn't get too far. You know, we played about 2 hours. We did the intro segment for, you know, it's Trevor and Michael. It's the heist that goes wrong. You know, then we played the intro segment for Franklin. And then we swapped over to Michael, and we did like 1 or 2 side quests for Michael, and then we ran out of time. So we're basically still in kind of intro build-up, right? And it's fun. I like it. Now you can switch between Franklin and Michael. And, you know, they're going to have new fun stuff coming up. What people really want me to do is get Packy, because in my original playthrough, I missed Packy, who's Patrick McCreary. He was one of the supporting characters of GTA 4, and he's a character in GTA 5. If you get him, he can later on help you with heists. Now, I didn't recruit him in my first playthrough 10 years ago, so people are really pushing for me to get this character this time around, which I'm down for. I want to do stuff I didn't do in my first playthrough. So people keep telling me how to do it, and I guess tonight we'll heavily try to focus on that and see if we can recruit him. It would be great if we could, because when the heists happen, you know, it'll be pretty neat to have him there as one of the characters that take part in it. So, what's hilarious is that idiots are saying that that's a slur. No. It's his nickname, Packie, and it's short for Patrick. They call him Packy. It's his nickname from GTA 4. So if you say that, I'm just going to laugh at you. And if you continue to say it, I'm just going to ban you because you're an idiot. Okay? Thanks. Fucking idiot. So, it went really well last night. All right? It did. Like, I had a blast. Seems like the viewing audience had a good time. And I'm excited now to continue on with this playthrough. Keep in mind, GTA 5 is a lengthy game. The story mode is about, I think to get just through the base story mode is about 30 hours. Don't quote me on that. In fact, shall I check and see? Why not, right? Let's take a quick look. So, let's see here. Trying to find it. So here's when I was playing the game as an FPS game. It was actually January 2015, so it was only a little over a year after my original playthrough, and that's why people got really bored with it. And, okay, so let's see how long I played into it. This is good for stats. Let's see here. So, I only played it 8 hours, and then I dropped it. I knew it was around 2 streams. I only played it 8 hours, people got bored, and then I dropped the playthrough. Okay? But, if we take a look at my original playthrough, which is what I'm looking for right now. Excuse me. Ugh. It was actually December when I started that playthrough. December 2014. Okay. My original Grand Theft Auto 5 playthrough. You ready for this? Excuse me. 187 parts. Okay? And some parts were as short as like 8-9 minutes. Other parts were as long as 30 minutes. So they varied. I just average of 10 minutes. Let's assume every part was 10 minutes. Then the playthrough was 32 hours long. All right? Now, keep in mind, I did a lot of side content. I did a lot of kind of that stuff in the playthrough. But here's the difference. Back then, I didn't have an interactive audience. It was just me playing the game, and that was it. There was no, me stopping and talk with people to shout out contributions. None of that, all right? So today, this new playthrough that I'm doing is going to be very different, and I would bet that this run, this playthrough that I'm just starting, I bet this playthrough will be longer than the original. That likely people will want to see me do a lot of the side stuff. You guys will be telling me about Easter eggs and things to do, right? And you guys will also be telling me about, like, for example, I missed out on Packy as being a heist companion. I'm sure you'll want me to do that stuff in this run, right? So that'll be the stuff that I focus on this time. And because of that, I guarantee you that this will probably be longer than the original. I'm guessing probably about 40 hours, if not longer, all right? So we got a long way to go, and it's good. because this is going to be one of the major focus games that I'm going to be playing over the next month and a half until new releases hit in September, okay? And in fact, the question came up last night, and it was a great question, okay? Someone said, Phil, if you haven't noticed, this is one of your most popular streams you've done in a while. Why don't you play this as the daytime stream, okay? It's a fair enough question. Now, some other people were like, yeah, you know, for us Europeans, we're not going to be able to tune in to the late night streams of this because it's too late for us. We'll have to watch the videos on demand, which is fine, but we'd like to be there live for some streams. Would you play GTA 5 as a daytime stream? Okay? So here's your answer. Yes, but only once we beat Final Fantasy 16. We have to complete Final Fantasy 16. It's a game that I've been playing for a month. We're 29 hours in. We got to finish it. So we have to make a push to finish Final Fantasy 16, and once that game is done, then GTA 5 can then become a daytime stream, okay? And that'll be good because then it'll free up some more night streams for other stuff. For example, we could do more chill late night playthroughs. We could do retro playthroughs like classic games like I talked about, like Super Mario Bros. 3 or Mega Man, or we could even go back to Elden Ring. We have a lot of options, okay? So yeah, let's see. We're actually doing Final Fantasy 16 again this coming Tuesday. And then again, we'll probably have 2 streams of it coming up next week. Like, we basically have to try to finish this game. And I know, at this point, it seems to be becoming more of a chore than anything else. I actually have people screaming for me to drop it. Now, I've been 29 hours in. I'm not going to drop the game, okay? We're too invested in it. But at the same time, it's pretty sad, quite honestly, when the vast majority of my audience is saying, we'd rather have you play a game that's 10 years old. We'd rather have you play classic games. We'd rather have you replay Elden Ring than play the most modern Final Fantasy that just came out because it sucks. That's really fucking sad. It is. And you know what also is funny? I looked online. You can't find sales numbers for Final Fantasy 16. All you can find, the only number that Square Enix put out publicly was the day one sales. Within the first day, they sold 3 million copies because everyone pre-ordered it. For some reason, they haven't mentioned a single sales number since. What happened in the month since it came out? They're not saying. And everyone is actually trying to kind of guessing. What happened was everyone pre-ordered the game, and then when it came out, played it, and were like, what the fuck is this? And because word of mouth spread, no one else bought it. That basically only the initial installed base is who bought it, and that's it. And this had just like a movie, who everyone goes to see it at first, oh my god, it sucks, and then no one else sees it after. People are figuring it's the same thing happened. So, we'll see when eventually these numbers do come out, because they can't hide them forever. But I'm very interested to see what happened with this game. I really am. So, anyway, that was yesterday. What an eventful day. All right, I was very pleased with how GTA 5 has gone. Like I said, the 2 GTA 5 videos, that I just put out last night, only 12 hours they've been live, already they got more views on them than any videos I've been putting out in like the last month. Seriously, more views than Final Fantasy, more views than Street Fighter, more views than even, well, I take it back, I think Amnesia the Bunker 1 or 2 videos have more views, but keep in mind, those just were released. You know, within a few days, maybe GTA 5 will surpass that, right? So, if anything, it definitely means that people are interested in it and want more of it, okay? All right, so let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week, and then let's talk about this interesting video that popped into my feed last night. So, schedule for the week. Today, DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show. As I've already explained, what we'll do is we'll finish the podcast, and then we're going to jump over to DSP Reacts and do a very fun 3-hour reacting stream to the clips that you guys have submitted. I'm very excited for this. You know, as usual, it's a good variety, and I'm very interested to see, you know, what people want me to react to this week because of the new members and everything. It should be a good time, okay? Cool. Tonight, more GTA 5. I'm excited. Now, normally, Sunday night would have been Community Night in Street Fighter 6, but they're taking the servers down tonight because there's major updates to Street Fighter 6 coming tomorrow, which we're going to talk about because I'm playing it all day tomorrow for the new character release. So tonight, more GTA. It should be fun, and I hope that you guys will join me for that tonight, okay? Orcs or Dorks thinks he's banned from my React channel. If you think that, email me. Send me the link to your channel. I can't check it here because because I'm on DSPGaming here. But if you send me the link, I'll try. I could do it on my phone. I could try to unban you live. So if you right now email me and say, here's the URL to my channel, I can check live and unban you. Okay? Just tell me when you've done that. Tag me in the chat. Tell me when you've done it, and I'll do that for you. Okay? I don't know why you'd be banned over there, because I didn't ban you, but it doesn't mean anything. You could have been banned for a million reasons. I don't know. Okay. So, continuing on. Tonight, more GTA. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see more GTA 5, and I hope you guys will join me tonight, and it should be a good time. All right? Tomorrow, it is Street Fighter 6 all day long. Why? Because it's the release of the first DLC character, Rashid. Rashid is a character who debuted in Street Fighter 5 as one of the new cast. I actually liked the character. He was the new character for Street Fighter 5 that I played with a lot at the launch of the game and actually enjoyed. And so, I'm curious to see how he's going to play in Street Fighter 6. So, being that he's brand new, no one knows really how he plays. We're going to be doing his guide. We're going to be doing combo trials. We're going to do a little bit of training mode. Probably do some casual matches to get some, basics down. And then take him into ranked. All right? And that's all day tomorrow. Now, another major change happening tomorrow. They're changing the way that you execute a drive rush cancel. Instead of it having to dash with your joystick or D-pad double tapping, instead you could just press the two medium buttons, which is going to be great for certain characters who are in the middle of a move and want to, drive rush cancel out of it, but you're already in a motion, and now the game doesn't know how to read your input. A lot of the times I try to drive rush cancel with a character like Luke, and it drops for me, which is very frustrating. So, hopefully this will make it easier to execute and more consistent. So, all day long tomorrow, Rashid in Street Fighter 6. It's going to be an exciting day of checking out new content in the game. I hope you'll join me for that. Okay? Then on Tuesday, we continue on with Final Fantasy 16 on the daytime stream. And then the night stream on Tuesday will be the community lobby night that we would have done on Sunday night in Street Fighter 6. So everyone will be welcome. We'll set up a lobby. We'll password protect it. Everyone will join, and I'll play with a variety of characters. I like these community nights. It's a time for me to use characters I'm not good with, like Honda or Dalsim, and just kind of mess around with them and try to learn basic strategies with them without having to worry about a ranked environment where everyone's try-harding it up and you basically don't have time to test anything, right? So I've had a great time, and I'm looking forward to more of that on Tuesday night, okay? And then on Wednesday, the daytime stream, the daytime stream will be Blanca's Road to Master. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to be doing a 3-hour ranked stream with Blanca in Street Fighter 6, where my goal is to try to push him as close to master ranking as possible. He's currently in 4-star diamond. And I feel like if I really commit to playing with Blanca on this stream, I could get really far. I don't think I'll hit master, because once you hit 5-star diamond, you have to earn a ton of points. I think it's like 15,000 points to hit master rank. But I feel like as long as I maybe watch some tech videos, and I play pretty solid, I'm pretty confident that we can get close to master rank on Wednesday. And then maybe like 1 or 2 more major streams and we can get him to master. And that's it. That's the height of what you can do in the game to be at master rank. That'd be very exciting to have my first character at master, okay? So, that's the goal on Wednesday's main daytime stream. And then the night stream on Wednesday, more GTA 5 anniversary run, all right? So what an exciting week. We got React content in GTA tonight, Rashid in Street Fighter 6 all day long tomorrow, more Final Fantasy and community night in Street Fighter 6 on Tuesday, and then the Road to Master with Blanca on Wednesday, paired with more GTA 5. That's a great variety of stuff coming up. As I already stated, we got the Machinima event coming up this Saturday. Keep in mind, in the month of August, we're going to have a ton of special events planned. There's going to be a retrospective marathon where you guys are going to nominate your favorite moments of my 15 years as a creator, and we're going to have a whole retrospective day where we react to that content together live. There's going to be a Project 7 retrospective event we're going to do, and a bunch of throwback playthroughs. So lots of special stuff is coming in the month of August. I hope you guys are excited for all of that, okay? I'm actually really excited to get, heavily into GTA 5. The thing is, we got to beat Final Fantasy first. Once Final Fantasy is done, then we can focus a lot on GTA 5 and balance that back and forth with Street Fighter. I think that'll be great, okay? Cool. All right, title it 15 Years of Phil, spelled Phiphthen. Hoy, hoy, hoy. JJNS or something else, although you have come up with catchy names for our last few events, so that's pretty cool. How about, we need to think of a special name for Project 7, the Project 7 event, and we do need a special name for the retrospective. I was thinking I was just going to call it, DSP's 15-year retrospective. I thought that would be a good name for it. All right, Orcs or Dorks did email me. Let's see if we can figure this out. Let's see if this works. Orcs or Dorks, you are not banned on DSP React. I just checked. In fact, hold on. I'll check on both channels. Oh, wait a minute. You can't be banned here. You just talked, right? So there's no way that you're banned here. I mean, just for the sake of argument, I'll double check. Nope. You're not banned on either of my channels. So I have no idea why you thought you were banned on DSP Reacts, but you're not. Yeah, I don't know, man. It could be some weird thing going on with YouTube then. I don't know, because I didn't hide you, and it doesn't have the option for me to unhide you. So I'm not sure what's going on over there. Okay. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Now, we are going to do shout-outs, but should we do shout-outs first and then get to the topic I want to talk about? I think we should. And there's kind of a big build-up here for what I'm going to talk about this morning. You guys have no clue. Basically last night, as I told you guys, at night, before I go to sleep, usually I'll fish through YouTube for stuff going on, and a lot of the times I've been watching Street Fighter 6 tech videos to prepare for my Street Fighter streams. Well, something popped into my feed last night, and it was the first time ever that I watched a video like this, and I was fascinated. I was absolutely fascinated. But we'll talk about that in just a sec. Let's do shout-outs first. Let's get the shout-outs out of the way, and then I want to focus on this for the rest of the show. Okay? Sound good? All right, so first of all, on the YouTube side of things, Orcs or Dorks, thank you for re-upping your membership for 26 months. I appreciate your 26 months of support. Umi just did a super chat asking the same question that like 27 people have asked in the last few days, and I've answered it every time and people keep asking it. I'll answer it again. Umi did a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Phil, I remember correctly, this is your third GTA 5 run. You did a first-person playthrough early 2015, but not finished. What happened? I'll explain it yet again, all right? So, my original run of Grand Theft Auto 5 was on the Xbox 360. It was the launch. Remember, it came out in September of 2013, all right? Now, within 2 months of that, both new consoles came out, both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And, of course, Rockstar, I really feel like Rockstar did this to double dip. Like, this was their plan all along. They figured if we release this game early on the current-gen console, everyone's going to buy it. But then we can easily port it to the next-gen console in 1 year and just up the frame rate, and now everyone's going to buy it again. And that's literally exactly what happened. Like, no exaggeration. That's exactly what happened. And so what happened was I did my first playthrough. Everyone loved it. And then a year passed. It was like November, December 2014. And all my viewers were saying, are you going to play GTA 5 again? And I was like, well, do you really want me to? I played it a year ago. I mean, the playthrough's fresh in our minds. Does it really make sense for me to replay the game again? And people were like, yes. I was like, all right, if you guys, want me to do it, I'll do it. So I bought the game again, full price, another $60. And we started with the playthrough. As I said, I just looked it up. Back then, my videos were only 10 minutes long each, okay? So we started playing it, and within 2 streams, people were bored. I only played it 8 hours. And then people got so bored, they were like, it's the same game. There's really no changes. Yeah, you're playing it as a first-person game, but it's really identical. I mean, seeing 60 frames is kind of cool, but it's really not that much of a change from the original. And therefore, people got so bored, they just asked me to stop playing it and do other stuff, so I did. So, yeah, at the time, it seemed like everyone wanted it, and then as soon as I started, people were like, nah, it's too soon. So it happens sometimes, no blame to be passed here. Everyone thought maybe it would be interesting to see it again, but I guess it just really is too soon to play the same game twice in a year and a half, right? So, it was only 8 hours. It wasn't the full playthrough whatsoever. Like I said, the game is a minimum of 30 hours. So I wasn't even like a third or a fourth into it when we quit that second playthrough. So it's not a second playthrough. The first playthrough exists, and now we're doing the real second playthrough. That was just kind of an 8-hour demo of the first-person mode, and that was it, okay? So I hope that clarifies. No, this is not my third playthrough. This is my second playthrough, okay? Okay, let's do tips, and then let's talk about what I want to talk about. So, I received a $30 tip, and this one is from Game Trekker, and he says he wants to comment on his submission for DSP Reacts this week. and indeed you shall. However, allow me to play you a nice tip animation first, and allow me to get this tip on the leaderboard, our first major tip of the day. All right. Thank you, Game Tracker. He says the following. I want to comment on my submission for the week. I know I've submitted one of your early Street Fighter V matches before. That was from the game's infamous betas. This match today is actually from the game's infamous launch. Yeah, there's not a huge distinction, but there's 3 reasons that I submitted this video. Number 1, it's hilarious and I can't help myself. Number 2, now that you played a bunch of Street Fighter 6, it's pertinent to compare its launch to that of Street Fighter 5. Here's a simple truth. No matter how good a game's netcode is, there's only so much you can do to help a truly shitty connection. We've seen how Street Fighter 6 handles bad connections now. Let's directly compare it to the previous entry's tech. And then number 3, in a recent episode of your podcast, someone super chatted with the suggestion you watch old Street Fighter 5 matches. They didn't provide any reason or context doing so, they just suggested it. So I guess here's some context for it. Alright, so I guess we're going to be watching a Street Fighter 5 match from the launch of Street Fighter 5. I just tell you the game is terrible. I know how bad it was. So, I guess we're watching that today on the show. All right? All right. I also received a $2 tip from Zangief's Wrestling Pants. He says, I can't wait for Phil's Fast and Furious 15-year festivities. Have a good stream today. Thank you very much to Zangief's Pants. They must smell interesting. Ugh. Thank you for the $2 tip. I just received 2 super chats. The first from Mango Jewel Pods. I think Game Tracker has a crush on me. Well, there you go. And then Lord Prince Albert did a super chat. He says, I have arrived. Everyone pull out your Vaseline. That's absolutely disgusting, but it's good to have you here, Lord Prince Albert. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Very nice. Speaking of Vaseline, maybe that's how Zangief gets his pants on and all. Anyway. All right, guys, it's time to get to the subject at hand, all right? Last night, I'm relaxing, all right? Getting ready for sleep, slumber, and I'm looking for something to watch, all right? And I'm just browsing through YouTube, and of course, my YouTube feed is now full of Street Fighter 6 videos because I've been watching Street Fighter tech videos pretty much every time I play the game to try to learn strategies and things with the characters I'm using. It's worked really well, by the way, like you haven't noticed. Every time I take a character into ranked, I seem to know 1 or 2 new things that is really useful. So anyway, I'm on YouTube and I'm browsing through, and something pops into my feed. Are you ready for this, guys? The big build up. I know I've been building it up. The name of the video, and I don't quote me on this because it's not word for word, but the name of the video is something like this. You ready? LTG can't handle the jab, jab, jab. Now, immediately I read the title of this video, and I know it's a Street Fighter 6 video, and I think in my head, oh no. So basically, he probably is complaining about Street Fighter 6, the same thing I've been complaining about, that there's too many characters who can just mash jab, and it interrupts everything you do, and I'm thinking, this is probably going to be like a salty compilation video. Right? Like, it's going to be like a 10-minute video where they just take him freaking out about Street Fighter 6 people mashing, jabbing, and interrupting everything he does. That's what I thought it was going to be. All right? So I click on the video, and much to my surprise, that's not what it is at all. What this is an hour-long edit where basically they took matches that he was playing. And it's weird because I think the matches they picked were the ones he lost. But at the same time, it's not like there were matches where he was getting, like, blown out constantly and freaking out. I don't know. I just think what it is that people like to act like things are way more drama than they are. I didn't find the video to be too overdramatic at all. Like, I mean, he got angry a few times during the matches, for sure. So do I, you know? I mean, I think sometimes I actually get way more worked up than he did in this video, right? But I don't know. Like, it was fascinating because I've literally never watched LTG gameplay before. Just being honest, it's the first time I've ever watched this guy play anything. I don't watch his content. I don't know anything about how he streams or whatever. And I actually watched almost the entire video. Like, basically, I became absolutely fascinated with this content. Okay, allow me to explain why. There was multiple reasons why I was fascinated by this content. okay? Like, so many things were going on, all right? So, number one, his layout, okay? Here's my layout when I stream, okay? Here's my layout. As you can see, you know, okay, keep in mind this camera should be fitting into this frame right here. But you see my layout? I would consider that my layout is a minimalist layout, all right? And what I mean by that is, as you can see, I give the game 95% of the real estate on my screen. For me, when I'm playing the game, it's about the game, right? LTG's layout essentially is, he's over here in the upper left-hand corner, and he's got a big widescreen camera. Below him is his stream chat. And I think he's streaming on Twitch currently. So below him is the Twitch. So this whole third of the screen over here is him and his chat. Okay? Then over here, like this segment of the screen is the game, but it's small. It's like crushed, like small. And then he's got like stuff on the bottom of the screen running that says what music he's currently playing. He's one of those streamers that he doesn't use the game's natural soundtrack. He has one of those things where he just plays his own custom soundtrack, and it's all video game music, which, by the way, I actually liked a lot of the music. He's playing like old Street Fighter tunes and stuff. I was like, this is good music, actually. Some of it, not all of it. Like, he was playing like Mega Man X8, and I was like, ugh, I can't stand the later Mega Man X shit. But he was doing some good stuff. He was like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, old Mega Man games. I was like, oh, these are pretty good tunes. Like, this is good stuff. But to me, if I'm playing a game, I want the natural soundtrack from the game to come through. I never understood streamers who play other music over the game. I don't know. I guess it was always a common thing or a popular thing to do. I never did that. I always just played the game soundtrack, right? So he's doing that, and it says the track. But the other thing, like, there's stream stats going on, and the stream stats were baffling. Okay? Allow me to explain what I mean by that. According to his stream stats, when LTG streams Street Fighter 6, he's got 2,000 viewers. Really? LTG has 2,000 live viewers on Twitch when he streams Street Fighter 6. That's great. My jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit. He has 2,000 viewers when he plays Street Fighter 6. He's got to be one of the top Street Fighter 6 guys, if that's the case. I'm not aware that the FGC gets that kind of views on just random. I know if it's a tournament stream or whatever, but this is him just randomly playing, right? I mean, he's doing something right. If that's his honest viewership he gets every time he plays Street Fighter 6, he's doing really good for himself. And that's good for him. Like, I was actually blown away. I was like, I had no clue this guy got that kind of attention, right? So that was interesting. But the thing that got me at the same time was, like, for example, he has his chat on the screen. I didn't see a single piece of intelligent thought out of his chat. Like, it just seemed like it was the normal, what do they call it? The normal Twitch stream monsters for fighting games. They're just spamming dumb memes and shit. They're insulting him when he's playing. They're just being toxic. And I was looking at this and I'm like, I don't actually see a single reason to have that on the screen. Like, it's not adding to the stream. In my opinion, it actually took away. I would rather see more of the game than the chat. The chat was too distracting and was very stupid. Like, I didn't get why the chat was on the screen because it wasn't entertaining, didn't add anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, the audience that was there, yeah, a lot of them were toxic towards him. And I was like, I don't think this makes sense to have that on the screen then. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't understand that. The other thing that got me, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be shockingly honest here. So I watched this. It was an hour. Now, I guess this hour comprised two different sessions. A Friday night session and a Saturday session that he played. And both times he's playing it from 2 to 4 in the morning. He has the time, his local time on the screen when he plays. And I'm like, geez. I could never imagine playing Street Fighter at 2 to 4 in the morning. That would not be the time that I want to play it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be playing it at prime time. And he's playing at like 2, 4 in the morning. Like, holy shit, right? I don't know how he's doing that and not falling asleep, honestly. So he's playing at these times. And the thing that I noticed, so it's, you know, I watched an hour. It was an hour video. But each, you know, the segment, I guess if it was unedited, would have been like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. But I'm noticing with 2,000 viewers, okay, and this is me being honest, this is not me shit talking. He wasn't getting many contributions at all. Like, he had on his screen, he has all these stats and shit all over his screen. At the top of his screen, it's like, this person resubbed for this many months, and this person, or whenever someone would contribute, there'd be like a pop-up on a screen that says Covenant or something. Or sometimes if someone did like a $3 tip, it would do the AI talk where it would say something that they wanted it to say or whatever, right? So he's basically, he's talking and doing his gameplay, and he's got 2,000 viewers on the stream, and the only thing I'm seeing is toxic shit in his chat and really very few people supporting him. And I was like, wow, that kind of sucks. Imagine if you were getting tons of viewers, but maybe what it is that the vast majority of viewers this guy gets are all people who don't like him, and they're just being real toxic to him. I actually started to feel a little bad. I was like, that sucks ass if that's the case. Again, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever watched this guy's content. So imagine you're bringing in thousands of viewers, tons of viewership, but the people are there just to basically take a dump on you rather than actually support what you're doing. Like, I was like, that sucks, right? For me, listen, I know I got trolls, but I also know that I got a good number of people. Every stream I do, we got hundreds of people who are here to be positive, to be happy, to have a good time with me. It's not every single time I play a game people are here to dump. Listen, you guys razz me. I get it. When I play Street Fighter especially, you guys fucking razz me. All right? I get that. But I was just shaking my head. I don't get it. I see a toxic chat. Oh, by the way, and this is another thing too. His chat wasn't really moving that much. And I'm wondering if he has a lot of moderation on his chat, because his chat wasn't moving as much. If there's 2,000 people on the stream, why wasn't many people chatting? And I'm wondering maybe because he gets so much trolling, he has to have a lot of moderation on his stream, like mine too. That I get, all right? See, I'm trying to be reasonable here. This is the first time I've ever watched him, any of his content. And again, it's fascinating because you're sitting there and you're watching it and you're just trying to understand it because, I'm a streamer just like him. And I didn't get it. Like, his chat didn't seem to work like my chat. His views were way more than mine, but at the same time, it seemed like he was getting way less support than me. And it was so confusing. I was just like, it was really weird. It was like a case study almost of trying to see how this worked, right? So anyway, that's... A lot of people in chat are saying he view bots. I have no idea. I'm not going to accuse the guy of anything. I'm just giving you my factual observations from watching this hour, okay? That's my factual observation from what I saw, all right? Now, let's talk about the actual content, all right? First of all, immediately when I started watching, I wanted to commentate on the match. I was dying to commentate. I was like, dude, I would love to watch this live with my audience and commentate on the gameplay. Because I'll tell you, some of the things he says, I agree with when it comes to the gameplay of the game. He's mad because certain characters are getting away with just jabbing like crazy and interrupting his stuff. I agree. I think that the game has a big problem with that there's certain easy mode characters who could just fucking walk up jab or react to jab, wake up jab, and they beat everything. And that's actually what the name of the video, I think, was trying to poke fun at. But it's a valid criticism of Street Fighter 6 in my opinion. So I was kind of agreeing with him on a lot of that, all right? And basically, I was enjoying it because I was actually watching it neutrally. I wasn't against LTG, but also I wasn't like pro LTG. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just trying to watch it objectively. And I was starting to analyze his gameplay, and I was starting to see some flaws in his gameplay that I think that he could dramatically improve his gameplay if he made some changes. But one thing immediately baffled me. Maybe you guys can answer this for me, because I would love an answer if you guys have an answer. For those of you familiar with LTG, okay? So this was gameplay from Friday and Saturday of this past week. So this is yesterday and the day before. So he plays two characters in Street Fighter 6. Marisa? Excuse me. Oh, man. He plays Marisa and he plays JP. Those are his two main characters. I don't know if he uses anyone else, but that's all, for this compilation, that's all that they showed, is that he had those two characters. Okay? So, here's, number one, what confused me. So he plays Street Fighter 6 a lot, right? I would assume he plays more than me. That's his game. That's what he's getting views on. He's getting 2,000 viewers a stream every time he plays the game. So this is what he's playing, right? So his Marisa is, I would assume, his lower character. She's 1-star diamond. Okay, so kind of same level, maybe the same level as my Luke. I would argue that my Zangief and my Lily are coming up, and they're going to hit diamond very soon. So it sounds like his Marisa is kind of like a secondary character, and she's like 1-star diamond, okay? But his best character is JP, right? And he's only 2-star diamond. And I was like, if you've been playing this game nonstop since the game came out, how is he only 2-star diamond? You know, my Blanca is 4-star diamond, and I don't play that much. Like, once a week I play Blanca, if that, and I'm 4-star diamond. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I wonder what's going on here. So, immediately, that's what hit me. I was like, dude, I thought for sure he'd be like Master. I thought for sure LTG would be Master rank. I'm not even shitting you. If he's playing this nonstop, I thought he'd be Master rank. I would think that most people in the FGC who are playing real hard are Master rank by now. I'm one of the few, you know, I like the game, and I've played it a bunch, but I'm not Master rank, because number one, I'm not playing it full time, and number two, I'm playing a variety of characters. You know, I got Blanca, Luke, Lily, Zangief, Ryu, well, I'm having a brain fart now, the characters I've been using. I'm actually having a legit brain fart. Marisa, right? And then I do variations of other characters as well, like throwing in like Honda or Dalsim or other characters. You know, I played a variety of characters over the course that I've played this game. I've split my time. I haven't only been focusing on 1 or 2 characters, which it seems that's what he's doing. If he's really only playing JP and Marisa, right? I kind of scratch my head, how is he only 2-star diamond? Now, Mango says actually he has 2 accounts and he's switching between them. All right, that would be a legitimate reason, and that's what I'm looking for, because my mind was blown. I was like, how could he only be 2-star diamond? I really was confused. So that's good to know. So if he's playing 2 accounts, maybe he's trying to avoid trolling. Maybe he's trying to avoid fucked up stuff happening to him. Ricky says he has 2 accounts. One is for JP, one is for Marisa. If he rage quits on the JP, then he'll change to the Marisa. Oh, wait. Well, if that's the case, then that's not what I thought. I thought you guys were saying he has 2 accounts, and he switches, and he uses both characters on both accounts, and basically he's diamond in both, but that's why he's never accumulated enough wins to get master on either. What you're saying is he has 1 account just for Marisa and 1 account just for JP, so then it doesn't matter. It just means he's not getting the wins. Anyway, that was my first major observation, all right? And then the other observation, again, I have never seen LTG play a fighting game before. I'm serious. This was my first exposure to it at all, all right? So he's playing, and basically whenever something happens that's upsetting to him, like, for example, he's doing a combo, he drops the combo, and then the enemy mashes jab, and off of jab, they get a giant punish combo that's like 60%. Or, you know, there were some situations that I agree are bullshit that happened to me too. I'm trying to remember specifically 1 or 2 that happened. Oh, like a Honda, a scrubby online Honda. And he's just getting lucky with reversal headbutt and shit. And then Honda, he'll do like a random level 3 super. So here's what LTG does. When he's about to lose the match, he closes, he quits to dashboard. He doesn't close the game. He just quits to dashboard. And then he waits like 20 seconds, and then he goes back to the game. And I was like, why does he do that? I was actually really confused. Like, he's not pulling the plug. He's not like disconnecting or rage quitting. He just quits to dashboard. But then he goes back into the game, and the game's still running. And I'm like, why is he doing that? And it wasn't once or twice. He was doing this like the entire compilation. You know, this was an hour compilation. He was doing it like every match he lost. And I was like, why is he doing that? I was confused. Because here's the thing. All right? Let's say, for example, it's an ego thing. Let's say he just can't stand losing and watching himself lose. Okay. And the thing is, in previous Street Fighter games, maybe he was like, I don't want to give that person the satisfaction of watching a video where I lose to them and they get to see the animation of them killing me. But the thing is with Street Fighter 6, every single match is archived. Every match you play online, the code is there, and anyone could go watch it from like a third-party view. Like, you don't have to be watching my stream to watch my matches. You can go access my matches outside of my streams and watch them back anyway. That's how Street Fighter 6 works. So, for him to quit to the dashboard doesn't actually, like, make any sense. It's not like you're not... I can understand, like, if Street Fighter 4 or 5, I'm taking away your satisfaction of seeing the animation of you beating me because I quit the dashboard. You didn't get to see the end of the round, right? People can go see it right now. Like, literally, you could find his matches and see him lose every match he's ever played. So it was very confusing to me that he does it. I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand what the purpose of that was. And then the other thing that got me. So he would lose a match and he would blacklist the person. Now, admittedly, I think this is a shtick. I think this is 100% his shtick. He does this to get views, and he does it because it's funny. When he loses a match, and he'll even say shit like, I couldn't believe it. He was like, he's fighting a platinum player. All right, he's in diamond, he's fighting a platinum. And he's like, oh my God, why am I facing a platinum level player when I'm in diamond? This is unacceptable. I don't know why they're matching me with this player. And then he beats the player, right? That's a free win. That's free points for him to rank up. And he goes, oh, I don't want to play platinum anymore. And he goes and he blacklists the player, blocks him, so he'll never play him ever again. I was like, isn't that counterproductive? You banned the person who you could easily beat, and you get points to rank up even further. Why did you ban them? Like, why would you block them? And then there's other people, like, basically, when, you know, he loses to anything, if he loses to a cheap guess, if he loses to a bullshit mix-up, if he drops a combo, if he, you know, all these things, he blacklists the person. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, immediately, you got to think about how it works, how Street Fighter 6 works, okay? The way that the netcode works is that it looks for optimal connections, but it also looks for people of skill level similar to you in ranked, but it also looks for regions. And a lot of people aren't aware of this, but it does. Street Fighter 6 is regional based. So you may have noticed the last few times that I played Street Fighter 6 ranked, sometimes I'm playing the same person 2 or 3 times in the same session. You might say, wait a minute, there's like a million people who bought this game. At any given time, there's probably like 100,000 people online playing it. Why are you playing the same people over and over? Because it's region based. So a lot of the times I'm playing people in this Pacific Northwest US over and over just because they're closer to me. You see? So if he's blacklisting players, all right, what he's essentially doing is he's killing his player pool. And here, so let's say he lives, I have no idea where he lives. Zero. Let's say he lives in New York City. This is hypothetical because I have no idea where he lives. If he lives in New York City and every player he plays and loses to, he blacklists. What he's now doing is he's making it so that the game is going to have to say, okay, fuck New York. Start looking further. Oh, he lives in Cali? I didn't even know that. So, okay. So start looking further outside of your range. So now, essentially, you're forcing the game to find people with worse connections. So now you're going to face people who are laggier to you. You see what I'm saying? And so if this guy, every time he plays, he's blocking 10, 20, 30 players, he's essentially destroying his whole region. He'll never play anyone from his region. He'll only play people from further away, and all that's going to happen is the connections are going to get worse and worse until eventually when he goes to play, all he's going to have are laggy people. So doing what he's doing is counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm watching the video. I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe it's an ego thing with the quitting the dashboard, but the blocking of the people just doesn't even make like logical sense. This guy's going to shoot himself in the foot. Eventually, he's going to have no one to play with that's not going to lag. And this is a game that he's obviously, by the way, he's shitting on the game constantly. He's saying things such as, this game sucks. This is the most noob-friendly Street Fighter. And I mean, everyone has said that for every Street Fighter that's come out in the last 15 years. I said it for Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 5, I don't even think Street Fighter 5 was a Street Fighter game. It was a pattern play game online. It was complete shit. Okay? I agree there. But, excuse me. But, you know, in Street Fighter 6 to some extent, I agree. There's a lot of scrubby shit in Street Fighter 6. There really is. There's a lot of scrubby shit. But at the same time, like, I'm trying to actively get better and learn. And I do feel like if I play it enough and I practice enough, the scrubby shit won't come through anymore. Like, I feel like if I get characters to master, you're not going to have to deal with drive impact spam anymore. You don't have to deal with people who just mash jab. It's going to be a higher level of intelligence player who's playing at a higher competitive level. They're not going to do those stupid online things that you're not expecting because they're trying to play like they're in a tournament. You understand? It's just a matter of getting through those ranks. But if he's doing what he's doing, again, he's kind of shooting himself in the foot and making it harder for him to get wins. I actually feel like if he didn't block the people, he'd be getting better connections. And if he wisely, like for example, if you're spanking a platinum player, don't block that person. Keep them there. Play them again. Get more free points. Rank up higher, right? Like, why would you block that person? It didn't make sense. I think he gets real heated, right? Like, and you see when I get heated, how I get bad. I get mad. I start swearing. I punch my fucking joystick. I start going crazy on my streams. You guys have seen it in the last 2 months. How when I get heated, how heated I get. It's weird because he gets mad, but then instead of like going crazy, he just immediately just like blocks, go to the dashboard, block the player. Like that's his pattern to deal with when he gets heated. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like he's hurting himself. Like maybe if he hadn't done this for the game, he would be a master rank right now, you know? And the other thing is, like, for example, I actually feel like doing a commentary on a video of his would be cool because I see things in his game that I know he can improve. That I'm looking, I'm like, dude, if he just did this, he'd be doing so much better. He'd be winning this match. And I'm watching, I'm like, dude, maybe I should do commentary, not just on him, but maybe I could do commentary on like Street Fighter videos because I'm learning the game, and as I'm learning, I'm seeing the holes in other people's game. And I'm like, dude, he could improve dramatically with just a few quick things that I saw. Like, his game could get so much better. And I think what it is that he plays a certain way, and I think, I'll be honest, maybe he just doesn't get any help. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to have that Diaphone player watch my gameplay, comment on it, and give me legit feedback. What did Diaphone say? Diaphone said, stop doing drive reversal. Guess what I stopped doing? Drive reversal. I almost never use it now. Start parrying. Guess what I started doing? Parrying all the time. Guess what happens? I started stopping rushdown constantly. Parrying has dramatically improved my game. When I get heated, calm down, get up, walk around, talk with your audience, take a break. That is something I'm getting better at doing. Admittedly, I don't do it all the time, but I started doing it, and I'm getting, like, it's helping. It's helping. Look what happened with Luke on Friday night. The whole first hour with Luke was a disaster. Every match I'm losing, I'm so heated, my whole body was covered in sweat. I'm serious. My whole fucking body was covered in sweat. I was so upset. And then what happened was I took a break. I used the bathroom. I came back. I talked with you guys. We jumped back in for the second hour after I cooled down, and I was getting wins. So sometimes just getting legit, objective advice can help. I am so grateful. And by the way, I told Diaphone how grateful I am. I actually reached out to him and said, I just want to say thank you because you're someone who treated me with respect and someone who wasn't looking to do a meme video that was really mean. Instead, you did a nice positive video, and my game has dramatically improved because you just gave me a chance to observe me objectively and try to help, and it helped a ton, and I thanked him for that. So, and I'm not saying that LTG is looking for help from me. I'm just saying in general, anyone. I think if I watch these videos, maybe I could comment on them, and I could watch top player videos. I could watch mid to low player level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I legitimately know Street Fighter 6 good enough that I would enjoy doing commentary over videos of the game. That could maybe be content that I did. But that's up to you guys. I don't want to put out content you guys don't want. This is just an idea I had because I was watching LTG's video and I'm like, dude, he could do this. Look at that setup. Oh man, now that's bullshit that happened to him. And this and that. And I realized I'm doing it in my own head. I'm doing commentary in my own head. This could be a video I'm making right now. This could be a stream I'm making right now. You see? So it kind of was an interesting idea, right? Anyway, you guys, now people are going crazy in the chat. You guys let me know what you want. If you're interested in this, let me know. All right? Because it's all fair game. You know, it is. It's all fair game. Anyone who's streaming, anyone who makes content on the internet, it's fair game to be commented over, you know. Oh, I don't care. Bye, Dad says LTG will never collab with you and he'll be pissed that you did a segment on him. I don't care. I'm not looking to collab. I don't care about collabing. I'm telling you, this is what happened with just me. And again, this video randomly showed up in my feed. It wasn't anything I was looking for. I just happened to click on it. You know, I was like, let's just see. Let's just see what this is. I clicked on it. I was immediately fascinated. And again, if we watch it together, I would basically explain all this to you. I would point it out. I'd be like, look at this setup. Look at this. Observe what's happening here. This is weird. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. I mean, it would be fun, I think. And then to comment on the gameplay and whatever, I think it would be fun, right? I think so. So, it's up to you guys. You guys let me know. But anyway, you know, I was trying to approach it fairly, objectively, and as someone who literally doesn't know anything really negative about LTG besides the memes and shit that you guys say, I was just trying to approach it as like a neutral third party, and I was fascinated. I admittedly, I was sucked right in immediately with the gameplay, with the way that he was behaving, with his chat and how they were behaving. The fact that he gets, I can't wrap my head around the fact he's getting 2,000 views a stream. I had no clue. I had no clue he was that popular in the fighting game community at all. I was like, wow, I was blown away. But again, to see that, and then to see that basically it was a lot of toxic people, and it wasn't really people who were like there to enjoy. They were there to laugh at rather than laugh with or enjoy the game. I was like, oh, that's not good, you know? Anyway, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what you guys think, all right? You guys let me know what you think, and we'll go from there, if that's something you're interested in. And again, I'm not talking about just LTG. This could be other things too. Like I said, if you want to see me comment on Street Fighter videos in general, like stuff with Street Fighter 6, I think it would be nice to see comment on strategies and things and other things, you know. I like to see other streamer setups too, how they all, everyone's different, right? Like how different, like I said, my setup, 95% is the game. And you have the camera and a little bar at the bottom. That's it. Like, I'm all about the game. But every streamer is so different. I couldn't, like, the game was like in a corner. I was like, weird. Because it was hard to see stuff going on half the time too. I was like, I don't know. Anyway. Cool, right? You guys let me know what you want. If it's something you'd be interested in seeing, and go from there. All right? But anyway, I'm just saying, this is something that happened randomly last night, and it absolutely fascinated me. I was like, wow, interesting. Okay? All right. Shout out to Nathan. Nathan gifted a membership, and it went to... Who did it go to? Stupid thing didn't update. Hold on. What's going on, Jade? I will see you on DSP React. Sounds good. I can't even tell you, because now I refreshed and it disappeared from my screen. That's delightful. Well, whoever got the gifted membership from Nathan, congrats. I'm trying to find it. It was Dreadlocks Rasta Double S. Congrats to Dreadlocks Rasta Double X. Congrats on the gifted membership. Be sure to thank Nathan for that. Very nice. And... again, I knew it was going to be idiotic, so I ignored it. I ignored it because this is a complete idiot. So I ignored mouth droolers. All right. All right. Derek says, interesting fact, today will be episode 23 of DSP vs. the Internet, and it's July 23rd. Well, that'll help me to remember the episode number. That's good. Because sometimes I forget what episode it is. That's good to know. All right, guys, we're winding down. We're running out of time. Remember, I have to set up for the React show. If you guys have any last-minute questions or things you want to throw my way, now's the time to do it. If you want to, please do. All right. Hobo X, we talked about that yesterday on the show. So watch yesterday's podcast for my take on that. No, I've never ridden a unicorn, Willow. They don't exist. I don't know if you knew. They're not real. Opinions on the GTA 4 soundtrack, very mixed bag. There's a couple cool tracks on there, but for the most part, I don't think it was great. I think it's really the original trilogy has the best soundtracks. Thank you, Derek. He says, I love your review Dungeons & Dragons. What cuisine will we be eating for next week's Feasting with Phil? Good question. I have no clue yet. Talk with my wife about it. We'll have to talk about it and see, because we got to, we're going to order for the React event on Saturday, the Machinima event, but not set in stone yet. Verret says, would you consider a segment watching viewer replays of Street Fighter 6 and offering advice? Yeah, I mean, isn't that what we're talking about? Is that not what we were just saying? That I'd be fascinated to do, like, commentary over Street Fighter 6 stuff. So, maybe, yeah. What's next for horror? I have no idea. What's next for horror? October has 2 or 3 horror games, I think, coming out, right? Double M says, are you reviewing Barbie? No, I'm not going to see it. Review Oppenheimer? I will when it finally comes out on a home service, but I'm not going to the movies to see it, so I'll review it when it's available at home. Ambulatory, I feel I agree with you. He says, I was watching retrospectives on GTA 5, or GTA series, and GTA 4 actually has some of the most detailed aspects in terms of NPC behavior in the city. What I said is when I played GTA 4, that was the first GTA I ever played, by the way. I never played the trilogy. 4 was the first one I ever played. I felt like I was in New York City. Like, seeing the way that the people walk around, talk, randomly interact with each other, they felt like they were organic, real people. And it was unique in that regard. I was blown away at that time. Remember, I'd been out of console gaming, only playing competitive Street Fighter for a very long time. And to see that games had advanced to that point where it really felt like a Sim City, like Sim New York, I was like, holy shit, this is pretty crazy. So, there you go. Oh, Jade is not going to the React channel? All right, that's fine. Jade, you don't have to be over there today. It's all good. Hopefully I'll see you tonight for GTA, right? On the late stream. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. Because remember, I got to get set up for the React show. So thanks, everyone, for listening. I would love your opinions on what we just talked about. Let me know your opinion. Would you like to see me do live commentary over one of these LTG videos? Would you like to see me do live commentary over Street Fighter 6 in general? I think it would be a fascinating thing to do and could be pretty entertaining. So let me know your thoughts, all right? Thank you for watching the show. I very much look forward to a fun day of streaming with all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me today and supporting. And I will see you tomorrow to let you know how it went. Peace out. See you then.